Hi, so it's September 2nd today, and I think I am coming down with COVID. I just got back from Seattle like last night, but I thought I would do another quick pepper update. Now, I recorded one of these last week before I left, and then just didn't bother uploading it, so these are both going to kind of go up simultaneously here, but I'll just give a quick little update. So, by the time the previous one comes up, you'll probably have learned that I successfully got some peppers to grow, and here is what that guy is looking like about a week later. Super happy. Not ripe yet, but I don't expect him to be for a while. But there are a bunch of other ones that have started to sprout too. And if I look around, I can probably spot some. There's one of them. There's another pretty big guy that's just off to the side here somewhere. Yes, there he is. And then a couple of others. I think I've counted around 5 or so on this plant so far, but it seems like they're doing quite well. Like, I left this fan in place here, and it just seems to have been doing the trick somehow magically. So I attribute that to lowering the amount of nitrogen, because I think that was causing it to just drop flowers before, but now the mix that I'm using seems to be quite a lot more appropriate, so quite happy about that. Now, on the ghost pepper front, there are not really any peppers forming yet. It's just been the chocolate reapers, weirdly enough, and it's the same thing over here. I had a few show up, but I'll talk about that later. But the ghost pepper has been pretty uneventful. It's just been getting these tiny little flowers that don't really amount to anything and then fall off after a few days, so I suspect I might have to change up the nutrient solution. Like, even looking at some of these leaves, they look quite dark green, so I suspect it's an excess of nitrogen, which I'll probably work to correct at some point. In terms of the roots, I guess I can just talk about that before going to the DWC, but these guys are looking pretty happy still. No rot or anything. I was a little bit worried that they wouldn't be able to grow far down enough, but they seem quite good. I'll probably do a res change at some point in the coming day or two here, but I am starting classes, so it's a bit tricky. Anyway, moving on to the DWC. These guys have done astonishingly in the time that I was gone, and they've grown so fucking much. There's this new sprout that's come up on this guy, as well as over here, and just all in all, they seem to be loving life, and I'm quite happy. Now, there is what looks like some light nitrogen burn on this guy, but I know that the rest of the plant had a pretty bad issue of that last trip I went on, so I suspect it's just some residual sort of leftover burn from that, and so picking that off or just redoing the res should fix it. Now, this guy over here, the chocolate reaper, I believe last week I had mentioned how the roots just looked really stressed and sickly. Well, I did a res change, and they look super happy again. They've got fuzzy growth, so I suspect it was just something weird to do with the res. But, they're still stained, but all in all, very, very happy. And there is new white stuff coming off of it, and they are keeping their shape quite a lot better than they were before. And it's the same thing across all of these, really. The other two roots look fine, but just in the interest of time, I won't bother pulling them up, because it's usually the same old spiel. But yeah, on this guy, there is somewhere another pepper. Yep, there it is. And I believe I spotted 1 or 2 others on here. So all in all, right now, the chocolate reapers are really the golden children. They're doing amazingly. They've got fruit, and they're getting quite big. But for the other 2 sets of plants, I haven't yet had anything. I think the Carolina Reaper is going to be next. The ghost pepper plants on both ends are just being very, very weird. I get these tiny little flowers. They barely do anything, and then they fall off. So I might have to just slightly redo the nutrient solution on that. But all in all, I think things are looking quite solid. Very, very happy with how these guys are looking. And I guess I'll keep you posted next week. So till then.